Oopsie daisies. I made a week-long mistake, but let me tell you what I learned about it from it. So, I was living in a sober living house, which was cool. It was great. I went to a treatment center about 6 months ago, and I stayed clean for 6 months. And I had an aunt pass away not too long ago, last Thursday, and I still had to get permission. I was like 2 weeks away from not even having to ask him anymore if I could go and stay at my parents' house in Lafayette, Louisiana, so that I could be at the funeral and not have to drive back and forth, you know, that whole kind of thing. Well, the guy who's in charge, my landlord, tells me, go be with your family. He's like, go be of service to your family, you know? He's like, don't make it about you. You're all good. Don't worry about it. I'll see you when you get back. So 2 days go by, and the funeral was the day before, and I get a text saying, we need to talk when you get back. You missed a meeting that I was supposed to go to, which I had gotten permission to not go to, so I could attend the funeral. Frigged. But anyway, he went back on me, fucked me over, so I got kicked out, and I'm tripping about what I'm gonna do. You know, I've been not having to ask for anything or like worry my parents for a while now, and I don't want to go back to that. I love them, you know. I don't want to, and I, you know, it means something to me too to not be in a nest, or, you know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about stigmas or opinions, but I do have standards, you know. So I felt like he thwarted what I had been working for, even though I had went and made the provision and the request to go at his, you know, with his permission, and he gave it to me. So it was totally mind-boggling whenever it happened, and I got the boot. Well, about a month before this, my stepmom was asking me if I could watch her friend's dogs in town. She works at the hospital and stays with them when she's in town. And so I was like, yeah, I can, but I'm not gonna be able to stay out, you know, no big deal. I'll just go before work and after work. It was gonna be a total bitch for me to have to do all that, but I was gonna do it, and I was gonna, whatever. I'll help out, I'm in town. So, the day I ended up having to get all my shit out of the house was the same day that they were wanting me to go over there, and I was telling them I couldn't stay, but I got kicked out, so okay, sure, I guess I can stay with their dogs for a few days, and it's been a blessing, because I love dogs, and they helped me settle back to my center, which I needed. Best grounding tool ever. Fuck touching grass, get a dog. Anyway, so that in itself showed me that I was worrying for nothing, because God had already had it set up long before I could have even seen or predicted how those events would have taken place. In my point of view, from my perspective, I was of the mind that I'm doing everything I can, and how dare they do that to me in the treatment facility, and give me the boot. Like, how dare they? I'm trying as hard as I can. I'm doing what I'm asked, you know, and I pay my bills. Like, how can you do that to me? But in reality, there's 50 other people like me coming out that week that also need a bed. And I'm worrying about where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have to go back to my dad's house. I have a job out here. There's a girl I like. She says she loves me now. Oh, me. You know, all these things I've worked for, all this peace that I have, he just flipped it out, he pulled it out from under me. But I'm worrying this whole time, and mad and angry, and going about my whole day noticeably there's something wrong with me. People are like, are you okay? I'm obviously not happy. And I'm giving this sob story over and over again about how this shit happened to me and yada yada yada. But I can't see outside of my own perspective most of the time, because I'm too self-centered. You know, it's a problem. And I wanted to live in fear and worry, and I'm thinking, like, that's my motivating factor to accomplish the next step. When in reality, that place was stressing me out to begin with, and God closed that door and already had a temporary place for me to be and not have to worry with things that I love and comfort and not far from work with really awesome people. And I ended up making a friend in the process, right? He was really great. And I get off of work today, come feed the doggos, sing some Skinner to the doggos, you know, have a good time, and come back to myself after some Tuesdays gone. And this dude calls me, and I'm like, hey, who's this, you know? And he's like, is this Ethan? I'm like, yeah. He's like, it's Sean. I'm like, who the fuck is Sean? Well, I had met Sean 7 or 8 months ago in my addiction outside of a dumpster. He was walking by the dumpster, and I was in the dumpster searching for shit people throw away at a music shop, like whatever, you know. That's the kind of opportunities I was seizing at the time. And he asked me to sell him some drugs, and I told him no, and I had the drugs, but I wanted them. I was selfish, and I didn't want to give them away because then I would have to go get more. So that's how I knew this guy. And he had gotten my number from someone that we had went to the program with together, and they ran into each other at Walmart, and somehow I guess I came up, and he had asked for my number. Why I would come up in a conversation at Walmart that I'm not there with two dudes that I'm not close to at all, you know what I'm saying, is beyond me. But it turns out this guy, Sean, has just started a new chapter of an Oxford House, and they don't have very many people there, and they need people. So he was calling me to ask me if I'd like to move in for the exact same price that I've already been paying in rent, no extra fee on top to move in, because they need people and a better situation. And the way he describes it to me is it's less drama than people coming straight out of treatment. It's like the next step. It's people that have had some time under their belt, and they're just trying to hold a job and get back into life and work their program and be able to have a like-minded set of people around them as a, you know, to hold them accountable, because that helps. You know what I'm saying? We're pack animals. We're not, you know, lone wolves or starving wolves. Period. Love dogs. But you know what I'm saying? All these things that God had set up through time, I'm in this linear passage of it, tripping the fuck out, probably deviating off the tracks the entire time. And he already had everything in place to make sure it was fine, because he wanted me somewhere that was the next level of the journey that I've been participating in. But my reaction was to say, how could they do this to me? How could they just fuck me over, especially after he told me to go ahead and go? I was at a funeral for my family member, and you're gonna do that to me, and yada yada yada, and I'm late to work. I've got all my stuff in the back of my truck like I'm homeless. Like, there's shame to it, you know? I look like I'm fucking frizzled and living in chaos in front of all the people that I'm trying to gain their respect and that I respect. And I didn't even do anything to deserve it. Well, that's not even what actually happened. In reality, somebody else got the bed that I had for a good 6 months, and they have an opportunity to get well now, that in that same situation with peers that are trying to do the same thing, but they're in early sobriety. And it's a little more shaky and a lot more drama and a lot more character defects flying around with people that are just kind of getting sober. Well, I've been doing it for half a year, and I love it. I've made a place in the community, and I've valued that community, and they value me, all right? I've been able to help people, and I've come to the point where now I don't go to an AA meeting to go figure something out for myself. I go itching for the opportunity for someone to ask me for my help, or that I might be able to help, because it turns out searching for purpose, you'll never find it, but being of service to someone else, they value you for that service. And the only thing that I can find self-worth and value in is whenever someone else finds value in me or worth. So boom, you have to be of service to have any self-worth. Otherwise, I guess I'm just being useless and a general consumer, highly marketable. So the entire time that I was tripping out and woe is me, I wasn't walking in faith. As much as I do believe in the Lord, and I do believe in that He has a plan, in reality, I was agreeing with I was looking from the devil's point of view and what he was trying to make me agree with. And I felt liberated by that, because I felt that it freed me of fault. Well, what do you know? That was the wrong choice. I just need to trust in the Lord. God bless you.